Hi, everybody. This is Allison from AllyKat Creations. How are you? Please like, share, subscribe, and hype to my channel if you have yet to do so. And if you get anything from my work at Connected on Epiphany of Mind Explosion, a new book to read, a new author to explore, artwork to create, please consider supporting my work. All the links are underneath the description of this video, but it's not just my links. There are amazing people that I watch, I value. I just think they're a beautiful collective of people that we all should be watching, listening to, because some of them are playing music. Some of them are doing amazing oracle and tarot card readings, Divine Sunflower Tarot. We have Synthesized Souls. We have Arnie Layton. We have our moderator, Scott. There's just so many people that I think are of value to this big expanse conscious collective that is contributing beautiful things to society and to the world at large. So please go to the bottom of my YouTube channel and subscribe to each and every one of them, because you never know. You might really enjoy their work like I do. AllyKatCreations211.com is my website. There you get to see my paintings, my pyramids, my skulls, and all the things that I do. Please email me, because that's the only way I go about life. And if you're interested in a commission or purchasing something, please email me, but be mindful. I just started back to work. I just got over 10 days of darkness. There's a lot going on that I am trying to catch up with to the best of my ability. So please be mindful and patient. I love you. I have a merch shop. Today's shirt of the day is Light the Path Forward. And oh my goodness, guys, when I got back to my house after a long day of work, guess what? It's a Freya Bomb mug. It's a coffee mug. And no, I didn't put coffee in any of them because I didn't have time to wash. But we have a Freya Bomb. We have all kinds of coffee mugs. I really like them. We also have stickers, Freya Bomb stickers. Stickers. They enjoy. They're amazing. And they spread the love and wealth. Go check out my merch shop. It helps the channel. It helps feed the animals. And then lastly, I have channel memberships. There you guys get to have an hour-long oracle card reading every weekend with me, just to tap into the energy just for the members. And I have special emojis. I have a raffle coming up on Friday. Friday's very special for me, by the way. It's not just a full moon eclipse. It's my father's 21st incarnation transcension, looping around. He left the plane of 3D 21 years ago and ascended to the heights on the 28th. And it was yeah, so I like to celebrate that day as well. And what about a raffle? So guys, 3D gets one free entry, 4D gets two free entries. And I picked out a pyramid. It's one of my smaller ones, but it was calling to me because someone out there needs it. We got lapis lazuli. We have opalite. There is a lot of aluminum, but also silver in there. I have moonstone. I got some green aventurine. We got a black obsidian, clear quartz, copper. We got a whole nice, but it's a little compact guy. We got a pyramid here. Now, I don't have the shirt because, of course, why would I bring that downstairs? But we are raffling off for so first place is going to get the pyramid. So when I pull your number, you get number one. You get to win the pyramid. Number two, the person that runner up is getting this t-shirt, the Dark Night of the Soul t-shirt raffle. Now, Third place. Sorry, my washing machine is acting funny. I might have to check on that. But you're getting a mug and a sticker. And you guys might also get a candle involved with the t-shirt. We'll see. But yeah, so go check out channel memberships. 4D helped me with the stickers. And I am sorry. The noise is weird. Um, I'm working on the episode 3 when I have a moment. I'm sorry I am late today, guys. I did not have internet. It went out again about 4:50, and it didn't come back on until like 5:30ish, and I didn't want to just jump on and then assume that it was all back and going. So I do apologize for that, guys. Hi, Divine Sunflower Tarot. Go check out her channel. Amazing stuff is coming out of her. And help her with her watch hours. Just put her stuff on in the background and play it. This is how we help each other. Hi, Souls. Synthesized Souls has a beautiful channel. And if you're lucky to catch lives, it's like a dance party extraordinaire and like a meditative, like, ah, go listen to the channel. It's amazing music. Hi, Ash Maya. Hi, Charlene. Hi, Scott. I have to go but catch up. Sorry. Hi, Hazel. So yeah, hi guys. I had the first day of school, but my first day for my kiddos is tomorrow. My kiddos did not come in today, so I was in another room. Had an interesting day. Friends, friends. Oh, I wish I could have taken pictures. I needed this coffee really bad, though. I'm sorry. OMG. Light the path forward for real, guys. There's a child in the room that I was in. Child is drawing aliens. Child's not here. Does her own thing. Not in this world. Child is not from this world. Child is drawing. Hang on. Let me see if I can grab paper somewhere. Where did I put paper? I have paper down here. I'm Mother Trucker. I'm going to do a very interesting I'm going to do a very as everything falls. Interesting sketch for you. I had to change. I had to be Pirate Nation. Pirate Nation is all purple. I have my purple Adidas. I had a purple shirt. I had to change. I was really sweaty and nasty, smelly. But yes, this is Light Your Path Forward. This is what I end my emails with. For sure, I end my emails with Light the Path Forward. I like this. It's like lighting the path forward. Awesome. I have to go check. So guys, if you send me emails, I might have to go looking because with the blackout that we had, I might have not gotten it. Just an FYI. Not because I'm not seeing them. It's just when we don't have internet and I did not have cell service, a lot of things did not come through. Like I had 2 creditors call me. I'm like, I did not have power and I couldn't get on to an internet or have my cell phone work. So I do apologize for that. Um, hi Ivy. Why am I leaking? But I just want to tell you guys, I'm not ignoring anybody. I do apologize. If you did send me something, please let me know. I'll see if I can find it. Um, Yeah, unfortunately, I there's a bunch of stuff that was never sent to me, and like I don't know. But I'm trying to catch up. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying to catch up. But oh my gosh. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. Oh my. I'm just doing a quick sketch. Oh, that is like really hard to see. Crapola. So guys, this child is advanced. Child is not necessarily here. Child is adorable. Holy crap, though. Drawing aliens! Drawing aliens with webbed fingers. Webbed, one of them. Okay, I'm just drawing like I would be at when I'm 8. Okay? This is webbed fingers. Just doing it really quick. And the teacher showed me more drawings because she knows I'm an artist. And I looked at all of them and I'm like, this child's not here. She's not here. She's somewhere else. She looks at me and I'm like, you know how kooky I am? She's not here. And I'm like, what do you think that looks like? She goes, an alien. I'm like, yeah, because she's not human. Well, soul is not. Earthbound. What's going on, Ivy? We love you. Oh man. Hey, Arnie. Go check out Arnie's stuff. He's on Spotify, guys. Arnie has been his music has been here and there. I've been listening to his it's in my mix. YouTube does a mix for me. And when I'm walking and jamming out, this is like me, like bopping my head and my hair goes woo woo woo. And people leave me alone because they think I'm crazy. But it's just Arnie's music and it's amazing. So go listen to his stuff. And it's also on Spotify. Go check it out. I don't have Spotify. Yeah, so memberships, guys, we have a mug giveaway. The mugs are amazing. I got a couple of them. I took pictures. They're on my Facebook if you're so ha lucky to be on mine. Um, what a day. What a day. A child that is drawing aliens. And not like Octurians, they're grays. They're grays. Maybe not all the grays are bad. She's a adorable child. Um, not of this planet. And I tried very deeply to ground the child, and the child responded to me. Now, a lot of the kids know me, but they don't know me. I'm not in their rooms all the time. Hi, Cindy. So it's been a day. It's been a day. It's been a day. It's been crazy, guys. Yes, yes, Miss Ivy, you need to eat. I had I usually eat once a day. I had a peanut butter Nutella sandwich at work at 10 o'clock with a cup of coffee. Allison got coffee from at work. We're doing it. I am not sleeping at all at night. I'm having rough nights. This is eclipse season. This is almost full moon season. We got a lot of energy incoming to all of us. I'm not sleeping, and that's not a good thing. So when I got home, I had a huge bowl of shell mac and cheese I made. Um, I ate it all. That's new for Allison. I don't always eat my full bowl of mac and cheese, but I did. I'm proud of myself. I'm very, I'm not, I'm a light eater. So yeah, we got the raffle. I picked it out last night and I forgot to take a picture of it. So this is being raffled off, guys. So Friday we'll have Friday Night Live with the raffle, which is really fun. It's short and sweet, but it's fun. Oh my goodness. I'm not okay. So I started a lymphatic drain cleanse and I'm starting to get my energy back. So I'm really thinking the thyroid is my real big issue besides the hormones. That might be a second thing. But I can't, as tired as I am, like at night, I start like getting like old man uncle on the couch after Christmas dinner kind of thing. I pass out, but I'm up at night and I can't get myself to sleep. And I meditate, I do box breathing. I've been doing dragon breathing. I've been doing all kinds of breath work to just oh, I've been playing Hertz. I've been putting that machine on, grounding mat, the whole 9 yards, nothing works. I tried last night. I did take a shower right before I went to bed. Guys, you guys haven't seen me since Friday, and it's hard to see. Do you see this? These little red bumps? This little fucker right there? It's hard to see with this stupid light. By the way, Allison tanned. And yes, I do have muscles. I don't know if you could see that. I got these mutant mosquitoes bites. They're fucking huge. I don't get reactions to mosquito bites ever. I usually get them and it doesn't bother me, and they're fucking tiny. Tiny. No, not these things. It looks like someone bit me. Like I thought I had a spider bite me. I was convinced. I'm like, whoa. Like my skin was like out. I've been putting copper. I have those copper cups like for drinking. I put the copper on there and like sit it on there, an ice pack and cortisone cream because I couldn't have. Oh, hmm, hmm, hmm. Yeah, I've had thyroid issues for years. This is nothing. The thyroid thing is not new, but I don't think necessarily. Um, yes, yes. I love peppermint and lavender, and I have essential oil spray. Holy fuck balls. Yes, it's nice to see Ash Maya finally. She's healing, and I've been bubbling you up, girl, and the hubby a lot. And I don't know, when I go to sleep, I envision all the people in my life that I value, that I know having, discomfort and things that are not right, and I like put my bubble of healing on them. And I've been doing that for Ashmaya and a couple of other people and their parents and all the people around them. So I do send that out every night. Every night. But guys, I was floored today to see a child draw aliens, and she would, it's like she's getting downloads. Would not listen to the teacher one moment, one bit, until she got her drawing done. She needed to draw. So, like, this child is drawing downloaded stuff. And when I checked the Schumann residence today, that was the next thing I was going to do. And I might be getting really bad weather again, I think tomorrow. Fun. But I might be getting weather tomorrow. Not happy. And I also missed something. I was supposed to post. I'm just going to do it off the cuff. I already chose some Oracle decks for tomorrow's live if I have power again. It's not about power because I can hook my computer up to the generator because I have one now. It's the internet. The internet wasn't on earlier. Fun. Sorry, I'm trying to find my appies. Yeah, the energy, it's so we're in a pre-eclipse. We've been in an eclipse, but there's more. Look at the light, baby. Woo! And right here, oops. Sorry. I was trying to hold the phone up. Um, right here is a blackout. Bum 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 bum. That's light, baby. We're calm now, but that's being integrated within all of us right now. Woo! So we got a lot of energy coming in. Also, a solar flare hit the earth. So we also have solar flare energy hitting us. Not fun at all. We had a solar flare. I think the mothership moved. That's the mothership right there. I think it moved though because it's not in its normal spot. But look at that. We have liftoff, folks, in the energy. We had I forgot what class. I can look that up. If anybody knows, put it in the chat. Um, yeah, earlier today on the GCP, we were high as a kite. So if you're having an off day, I'm not necessarily having an off day as much as I'm having, yeah, it was elevated earlier. Oh, Scott's definitely having interesting visits for sure. But to be in a room with a child that like I know, kids and kids amazing, but I've never been in that classroom to see their abilities or do what they're capable of doing. I only see them in the morning at arrival and again at dismissals. So I only know them from walking into the door because I usually hold the door for them to come in and say hi to everybody. I know their name, but I don't know what goes on. This child is drawing aliens. Child is like one of my other kiddos, not from here. And I said to the teacher, I'm like, if I'm ever back in your room to help again, if you wouldn't mind me doing some experimentation, harmless, meaning I would play someone talking in light language and seeing if the child responds, because I've done that before. So I'm trying to think about strategies of how I could communicate. I tried actually telepathy with her today, and let me tell you what, I got her to look in my eyes. I don't know if anybody, a lot of people know or don't know, but a lot of autistic children, like on the higher scale of meaning they're mild to severe, they have a hard time looking at you. Their attention is all over the place. I got this child to look at my eyes. And I am like pointing to my third eye, and she kept pointing, and I tried pointing it to her, and she wouldn't let me touch it. But I know she heard me. So I'm going to try to work on that with her. We're going to collapse a better paradigm, guys. We're going to collapse it. We're going to take a look at energies. I do want to finish my palette today. This is not done. Dunzos. There's some things I want to touch up in there, but you know me. I might have had some stuff. I don't know. Something feels off, and I was looking at it before I was going to epoxy it. I haven't done my epoxy because I need my heater. The down here has been pretty non-humid, but you need heat to take the bubbles out of the epoxy, and you can't do that without power. You know, power's fun. Power everything in life. But yes, I have my power out, but the power is back on, but the internet keeps going on and off. There's still, to this day, there are people that work with me that still don't have power. There's people that still do not have power. There are people here that still don't have power. There was a generator somewhere down the block. I could hear it when I was walking over my headphones. The lines they've been replacing, so I'm thinking that's what's going on with my internet. Oh, that's okay. Ash Maya, you are healing. You crash when you need to crash, girlfriend. I'm just happy when people show up. And FYI, if you got to go make dinner and hang out with your peoples, I understand. I love you. You have to life too. Life happens. Like today, I lost my internet. I came home to it, and then it was out for like an hour. And I wanted to go on way earlier. I'm glad I didn't, because the spinny wheel of death happened. I don't want that. Mm-mm. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Nope, nope. I'm gonna read some of the updates, and FYI. Hey, Thomas. Yes. The energies. The AI that I posted yesterday, it is AI. Allison walked home, and I was a Rachosaurus Rex. Wrecked. And I had my hair, I really did. Like, I made an effort to do my hair the other day, and it came out really nice. And it got messed up by the time I got home. Today too, I took a shower last night, and I tried to do the little woo, make it wavy and be cute. Like, here, you see it? You see it? I tried, and it falls out. It falls out. And Freya's just Freya. But yeah, guys, I have mugs. I have a lot. I have a lot of good stuff. I have a lot of good stuff, and just coming home today to coffee mug, and I don't even think I want to take these to work because I don't want them stolen or ruined or broken. But it's a Freya bomb. I don't know. I'm a coffee person. Now, if I can get that on a tumbler, gold. Gold. August 25th. Some endings continue long after they are over. Not because anything remains unresolved, because what happened continues being referenced whenever you explain who you are. You know why you respond the way you do, why certain things mattered, why you made certain choices, why you became more discerning about what you allow into your life. For a while, that understanding is valuable. It gives language to experiences you once couldn't see clearly. Then one day, even the explanation begins feeling unnecessary. You don't need to trace every preference back to its origin, every boundary back to what taught it, every instinct back to what made it necessary. Something can have shaped you without remaining the shape through which you understand yourself. Eventually, you stop relating to your life as a consequence of everything that happened before it. There is simply who you are, what you enjoy, what you choose, what interests you, what feels natural, what you want to experience next. The past doesn't disappear. It simply stops being required to explain the present. And perhaps that is another kind of completion. When who you are now no longer needs a backstory to qualify who you've become. That is very important. For me, I can put this into context about my rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah, I got some things and they're heavy, but I don't make it my story. Once I stopped making it my definition, once I said this is not how Allison defines herself, sure, there is limitations I have. Sure, there are days I'm in pain. Sure, I get inflammation here and there. I could sneeze and throw my back out. It's a real thing. But I don't live that story anymore. I don't say, "Hey, I'm Allison with rheumatoid arthritis." I don't do that anymore. I used to. Not because, and in my reasoning for that was because there were days when I used to work when I legitimately couldn't move, and you could see the pain boggling out of my brain, and I needed help. Or I needed somebody to say, hey, like, hey, I'm not having the best day. It's not one of those days I can take off, but I'm here, I'm showing up, but I could use some extra assistance. Could we help me? But that help really barely came. Don't define yourself. And yes, we could say that we have stuff and because we do, it's not a lie. But don't make it your story. Don't make it like the pinnacle point of your life is because something negative is affecting it. Oh yes, Telewanda. Guys, I'm so happy some of you watched it. I know I had a cathartic cry. I had my angel ring, like I had the pain in my shoulder blades wrap me up. And the only other time I've ever had that like instant clear vision, meaning I'm conscious, I'm seeing it. Obviously, it's not real. I'm not having real wings come out of my back, but like the vision of it happened while I was awake, while I was crying, and I had my wings wrap around me. The only other time in my life I've ever had that similar experience was when my cat, my Tuxie Morgan, passed away. Her wings wrapped around her, and then mine wrapped around her and the wings. It was insane. Um, I cried. I had some release, and holy shit balls. That's all I have to say. It brings a lot to it really does bring a lot of what I've been saying in just a different way, just expressed differently. It's just like Suzanne Ly's book, Reconstructing Reality. That book, it takes you into a fictitious story, but it's real and kind of gives you through a story how reality is being reshaped and how reality is being reconstructed and the understandings of different levels of reality. Talawanda is in a similar, in a comparison to her book. This is also very comparative to the understanding of how we as beings create reality. And I don't want to give it away for those who haven't watched it yet, but he like challenges the normie, we'll call them normies. I don't like to label, but the normal people go to see him and he challenges one of them on stage and something starts happening and it stops because he had his doubt and he wasn't focused. In the holographic universe book, there was a guy in India who opened up his hands and sand would be pouring sand out of his palms. Hi, El Sunray. How are you, sweetheart? Um, Out of his hands. There are people that can materialize objects in their hand. A very few, very, very, very few instances that have been recorded that people can actually go, well, that's not AI. I've watched other people who have psionic ability that can manipulate space-time. Way back in the day, I saw a video of a guy just moving his hands like this and focusing on a pile of leaves. And he shows you in the video, like the VHS tape, guys. It's like VCR nonsense. There's not a wind in the sky. There's no trees blowing. There's no like movement. It's just everything is still. And all of a sudden, he starts vortexing these leaves to come up off the ground. These are the things that Linda Good McGillis, who has an interview with the guy who helped make Talawanda, they had a beautiful discussion. And Linda, I hold Linda on high regard. Linda is next level. She's next level. I respect the living daylights out of this woman. And her and Alexandra Quinn used to do interviews. I don't know what happened to those two. Hi, Kim. Hi, Mars. I mean, yeah. But if we look at the dynamics of Telewanda, of the message that we all need to claim our power back. And in our own individualistic way, we are taking our power back. It's beyond knowing thyself. It's knowing thyself is divinity. Because you guys are awesome. Um, Hang on. There's a new t-shirt incoming. It, own own your divinity. It's your responsibility. Sneak peek. And I wrote it on a postie. I was just sitting here and it dropped in. I mean, it's a matter of perspective, Mars. Yeah, there's a lot of people with a lot of abilities out there, and some of us are starting in Talawanda. It's also about remembering. Linda brings this remembering up. It's because we've already done it. We've already lived these paradigms, not in this vehicle, but in other expressions. We already lived a lot of this stuff. We already had a lot of these abilities. And it's just about remembering how to go about remembering to use them and to activate that within your body, your cellular memory. Your bone marrow holds it. Your genetic coding holds it in the human form. It holds it. You didn't come here, you came here veiled, but you did come here to know thyself, and then because we're moving on up, know thyself to other levels. These mosquitoes, I am going to flip. I had to do that. It's itchy. Ping. So yeah, I'm back. Internet was like not working earlier. I would have been on at like 5:30. Hang on. Let me see if I can find it. What's that guy's thingy? I also watched. I'm just gonna take you to the page because it's just easier to see. So Flame of Theron is the guy, and here is Telawanda, right? Really, and there's some trailers and stuff, but this is Linda. That's Linda, right there. That lovely lady right there, and that's Linda talking about CERN. Nothing that I really haven't said, but I want to see this Emerald Sun I want to see what this Emerald Sun stuff is. I'm very curious about it. But the Telewanda, it's a great movie. It's a tearjerker. It's mushy. If you're into twin flames and your divine complement, this is like, but I also watched a Carl Jung interpretation of a twin flame, and when they don't work out, what that actually means, and that is my definition. I'm the elevated soul, and the other one is not. And the other one did not want to do their work. And the other one had to run away. It's the runner chaser thing, but they like ran away. And here's the deal. I'm elevating, motherfucker, and no one's stopping my ass. Hi, Steven. I know when people say false flame, they're not necessarily false. I know that's a term that a lot of people use. Every relationship, whether it be a friendship, a soul tribe, a soulmate, which could be me and Freya could be soulmates. Me and half of you are soulmates, right? Am I indigenous? I do have Native American in my DNA. Um, yeah, I do have that, but I'm multidimensional. On the Earth plane, I am human. But let's look at oh, there's so much in my brain right now. I'm getting channeled. I keep losing my thoughts, guys. It's chatty. Linda talks about 2012. She's talking about what I've been talking about. It's very similar. And she breaks that down. So I would go and look at that interview. So it's all about perception, Mars. And I like that you brought that up. There are people like the false things, right? The false. There's no false because everything serves a purpose that you signed an agreement to. We signed an agreement. Even Carl Jung agrees with this. And I'm going to get more into his work. I studied him in college a bit, but not to the depths that Bernardo Kastrup does. And Bernardo is like he's like my top 5 philosophers I will actually hold in esteem. Okay. Because his what he's writing in with about the metaphysics of Schopenhauer, next effing level. I'm telling you what. And I know those books and those things are not easy concepts to break down, and that's why I try to break them down in layman's terms. Nothing is false because we contracted these people, these experiences, these catalysts to have us have a soul growth. What happens when a twin flame doesn't work out in one lifetime or multiple? It's because one is not accepting the what the other one was trying to bring to them. So if I'm here to help mirror an insecurity or whatever they need to work out within themselves. And I'm a catalyst for them to do that kind of healing, but they don't acknowledge the healing because they're still 3D leveled matrix mindset. They're not willing to expand consciousness. Well, that leaves me having to either lower my frequency and stay there or connect, like pull the cord and the thread so thin that I am no longer connected to that flame. It's not because they're false. It's because they didn't want to do the work, and I cannot impose my will for them to do their own work. I can only hold someone's hand and walk them through their experience, but I cannot do your spiritual work for you, nor can anybody else. You got to be an acknowledgement for that. And that's what they came here to do, souls, is to do that because you're going to put yourself back together again in a higher leveled form. If I could find that Carl Jung thing that I watched, I'm good. I think I put it on my Facebook. I will try to send it to you. Um because it's a very interesting, I never heard of that before. They call it a broken contract. Everything you don't need to believe that you have a soul contract, but for me, it makes my life make sense. Like I have to take accountability because a lot of people don't take accountability for what they are not doing in their life to better themselves, right? We go to divination. We go to different modalities outside of ourselves, and not to say it's wrong, but why are we stuck? Why can't we get over this thing? What's going on? For me, the soul contract makes my whole existence make sense. I orchestrated a very difficult life, and I have to acknowledge that and take accountability for that. That way, I can give myself more grace and compassion, knowing that the circumstances that I set for my life had a purpose. Everything serves a purpose. This blackout, as frustrating, as financially draining as it was, because definitely is, it showed me that I don't need help, even though that I do need help, but in the help that I've always sought out for myself, like having someone to physically do things for me. Guess what? I axed down logs. I broke up all the tree limbs by myself. I wasn't the damsel in distress. Even the linemen were laughing their asses off when they're like, "Oh, your backyard looks clear." I was like, "Yeah, I did all the work. I sawed it down." They're like, "You sawed it down?" I'm like, "Yeah, and I axed it down too." They're like, "Whoa." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm a badass bitch. What?" I'm not going to sit here and call a company, pay thousands of dollars when I know I could do it myself. You have to stand in authority. It is hard at times because your twin, not every lifetime do you have a twin experience. You don't. Most of the time, your divine complement, not the human form, your other self that's gendered male or gendered female if you're a male. I'm a female, so my divine complement is a male. And Norman, 9 times out of 10, they're not incarnated here. They're upstairs. They're watching my journey. They're aiding me. They put other people in my pathway, lovers, romance. But that doesn't mean that they don't come down every once in a while and sold to meet you. And when it doesn't work out in a life, there is a specific purpose. And Jung will postulate that it's because one doesn't want to do the work and the other one is advancing. And why stop your advancement? Because you have a bigger purpose on this planet. Why are you going to let another person that doesn't want to do their work, that makes you miserable? Yeah, you love them and you will always love them. But if they're toxic to you, if they're not right for you, why are you following and lowering your vibrations and keeping yourself back? No way, Jose. Yes. And Jung puts that out in a postulate, right? It's not even a postulate, it's just his perception of his archetypes and why we focus so much on these things. It's a human construct, it's a human design that we all we all wrote to play and experience. And sometimes when we are elevated in consciousness and the other person doesn't want to elevate with us, your choice is to move on. If you would like to do so, you could stay. This is really what people are calling a split is all about. It's knowing what no longer serves you, not because you don't have love for people, not because you don't want to be around other people. It's because they're not your people anymore. They're not willing to do the work. They're not willing to open up perception. They're not willing to have the blinders come off because they can't own up to being wrong. And there's no right or wrong either. It's just we could put it in context to the political stuff. I have people that I work with that are so fucking adamant about one side, and then I have another group of people that are adamant about their one side, and they're not willing to see the middle way. The compromise. They're not willing to compromise bullshit. They're not flexible in their thinking. I'm not telling them not to believe. Again, belief is a big thing here. You can believe whatever you want. You can believe the spaghetti monster exists. You could believe in the spaghetti monster colander people. They really believe there's a spaghetti monster, right? I'm just giving that as an example. If you imagine it, go back to Telewanda, you could create it. But these people don't want to see it that way. They need in their ego to be right. And at this moment in time, many of us are dissolving the ego, not going away. Your higher self is taking it over. Your old third dimensional programmed ego that loves to tell you it's the devil on your shoulder, the negative Nancy guy that makes you question shit. If it's not in balance, it throws you off. That little guy over here, he needs to go over there because we're now going to have something higher coming in. We have our higher selves dropping in. That's a good one, Arnie. I like that. I like that. Um, Arnie, take this into consideration because I've asked this of many other people that also have that ability, right? They're losing it, right? Yeah, yeah. That's one aspect of their soul that we perceive, right? Because we've seen the evidence of what these people do in human form. What a lot of people like when people say that, I'm going to give this example, Princess Diana. So many people have the belief that she did not die, that that was staged, and that she went into the Gone with the Wind program, CIA. Goodbye. Like we got to hold you safe somewhere, right? There's a lot of people that we assume that was saved and really didn't transpire in that movement. Well, when a psychic or a medium talks to a soul, what density dimension are they talking to them on? Because we're multi-dimensional. There is an aspect of her soul that is not evil, that is really pure and good. I could say the same for so many other human beings that are vile and do very despicable things, but we're multi-dimensional layered souls, and we have a shadow, we have a light. Now, if someone were to go into reading me, let's just say I transcended tomorrow, somebody could have picked up some negative shit about me, but it probably wasn't this lifetime. It was maybe another one. Um, we don't escape those things. Oh, that's a good catch, Scott. I mean, there we can look into the synchronicities of why things are happening, and we all kind of have, some of us at least, not all of us, some of us have the synchronicity thing down pat, and we kind of know the movie plots and the many potentialities that could arrive at our door with why a lot of things are happening right now. Yes, El Sunray, very good point right there. Very good point. Yeah, we're all specially adapted. So I'm gonna talk. Hmm, hmm. Bernardo brings out something fucking phenomenal. If anybody knows about multiple personality disorder, it's dissociative disorder now. It's where someone gets traumatized to an extent, and this is in the human aspect now. I'm just explaining it. They get so traumatized that another aspect of their brain shuts off and another aspect turns on. So when they are triggered by something, it could be anything. The personality that was once here is now gone, and another personality is encapsulated within the form. It's the same body, same soul. It's just another aspect of them. They might speak another language, they might have an accent, they might be a genius in things. These are things that are locked away in our brain. And when something triggers it, there's a lot of really good people that are very humbled in sharing their multiple personalities on YouTube. I've watched a bunch of them because there's a bunch of people that, especially children, that might have it, and I want to know more about it and what their experiences are. So put this now on a metaphysical scale. God, okay? The quantum field, the spark of life, right? Consciousness. When God said, let there be, God individualized, we're all individualized, and he disassociated his personality into all of us. Because God's experiencing life through us. Through us. Every one of you has a personality, and every one of those personalities was a disassociation from source itself. Flawed in everything. And that was meant to be. Yeah, they do fall for the script. And Arnie, many of you know that the spiritual side of things are usually on one side of a political agenda, not on the other. That's why I started taking the neutral stance. Not that I'm neutral, I'm saying I see both sides. I know how both sides play. I have the grand expanse vision and version of myself up here in Cloudland, looking down, going, oh, hell no. I'm Team Light, but I also have to balance that with Team Dark. Yes. Interestingly enough, I have a lot of religious people that are very Bible-y in my area and in where I work. And when I have to describe myself, because I sometimes can be, I'm intimidating. I scare people because they don't understand. They've never been exposed to someone like myself before. And I have to describe that everybody finds God or Yeshua or the concepts they're in outside of religion. And some people need religion to find that answer, and some people don't. And when you're stuck to one method and one mode of thinking and not expanding your consciousness, and it's not to say not to have your faith and not to have your belief systems, but you should be able to extrapolate things outside of your norm and have an open mind to it. I'm not saying believe it, even myself. Don't believe everything I say unless it hits here. We all live a different reality. We all experience and feel reality differently. Do not allow me to tell you how your reality is, right? We're all here expressing opinion, postulates, perspectives, perceptions, interpretations. Linda talks a lot about this stuff on in depth. I value that woman. And Talawanda, what she like extrapolated from that little short film and made it make even like a higher level sense. Holy crap. And I'm going to share the page again. Please watch. This is the movie Talawanda. It made me cry. It made Scott cry. And here's Linda. This one is about CERN, but this one's about Talawanda. And she just, oh wow. Insane. It's Flame of Theron. Yeah, she's been out doing these things, these interviews. And I really like her perception of Talawanda. I also like her thinking on what happened in CERN. Very similar to mine. It's very, very it's like scarily similar. That is right, Mars. That's why a lot of us are in not in a third dimensional sense neutral. Um, like I have a side. I know what's right and wrong and on a third dimensional level, but on a higher dimensional level, my thinking itself is beyond good and evil. Because I see the bigger picture. I see the contracts. I see the understanding. All things are God, and we have to come into our your own divinity. You all are divine. All of you are divine. Take responsibility. It's a heavy burden to know that because that means you're next level shit. You're the shit, guys. You're awesome. You're next level. You're 4D. It's here. We gotta get more people on board so we can start bringing it into a more defined expression. And we're seeing outside of ourselves, like what I just experienced with the and people are still not with power in Northwest Indiana. Uh Gary's one of them, and then Portage. No one's talking about Portage. But there are a bunch of people that I work with that are displaced right now. They're living out of hotels. This is happening for a reason. It's exposing monopolies, it's exposing infrastructure that the monopoly says that they're doing great things with, and they're not. My gas and electric bill for me being one person and 10 months out of the year I'm working, I'm not home. I don't really run my air conditioner unless it's like 100 degrees or more or it's like deathly in here. The same with my heat. I don't put my heat on that high. And my bills are ridiculous. And what the hell is the reason? So people were showing their bills saying like, "Oh, I only spent $17 on gas, but the delivery charge is $80 plus tax, plus this fee, plus that fee." By the time they're done, but yeah, Arnie made a post on my page saying like, "Hey, all the data centers," which I had no idea Gary even had any because I have to see where they are. I don't know where they are. Data centers are huge, and Gary is a city with dilapidated buildings and $1 million homes on the beach. But otherwise, everywhere I've went and driven in Gary, I've never seen them. So I don't know. Um, but if there are data centers in Gary, they shouldn't have had power either. But you see that's the one thing that a bunch of people it's not even a tragedy. The catastrophe that happened here, right? We had a derecho. We had over 100-mile-per-hour winds come down with rain at a burst. It's like called a microburst. And it came down and it's like a tornado and a cat 2 hurricane hit within matter of minutes, and it destroyed everything. Infrastructure, you guys seen some of the pictures I showed. Devastating. I want to know what needs to be cleared out here energetically. One. Two, it's exposing the monopoly of the electric gas company, but also it is exposing some other things. Middle of Indiana also experienced catastrophic flooding, like 100-year storm. No, they're clearing out things underneath. They're called dumbs. Yes, I don't have that ability. Oh, it's not absolutely not natural. Not I don't think any of the things going on, some of it is. The earthquakes, some, not all. That's natural. There are natural fires that are happening out west. That is not something to be denied. Like there are natural occurring things Gaia does to purify the land. We can't say that it's always going to be an agenda, because not everything is. Some things are naturally driven because it happens. When it comes to the weather up here, how the F is Illinois the highest tornado state around? Indiana and Mississippi are tied for how many tornadoes. And when I moved here, I chose this area for multiple reasons, but one was that the tornadoes weren't as intense and that they were very rare occurring. And I looked at data. I look at when I move to a spot, I make sure I look at a lot of different things before I move there, because that determines a lot. I just don't blindly move to a place. I looked up in this region and I like, oh, well, there's really no tornadoes. Yeah, here and there, but not crazy. And as soon as I move here, hi, nonsense. Let's take, for instance, the blue house, blue roof postulate. I'll call it a postulate. There have been energy weapons, lasers used to take out towns and cities, places upon this planet. And how the fuck is the blue house standing? No fire damage. Nada. Dunzos. Everything else around it, fucking gone. But the blue house. Yeah, no, that's not suspicion. That is highly an energy weapon. Now, if there's a jerk who's smoking a cig and doesn't put out the stuff, and there's drought and stuff of that nature, and something goes up in flames, or lightning hits an area or a tree that in a forest that had drought, yeah, that's a natural occurring thing. And that's something we got to be cognizant of. Yes, we got to be cognizant of that. We got to be cognizant that there are things that are naturally occurring that seem suspicious, but it really is God's will. And then there are things that are manipulated, but that manipulation is also God's will, because you might not understand the lesson that needs to be learned because you already know the lesson, you learned it already. You just happen to be a part of the karmic dude energy that's collective in the area that you live. It's interesting, and it's something that it takes time to absorb that fact. And you might not claim it as fact, and that's okay. Everything serves a purpose in God's world, and some of those purposes are unfortunately negative, because lessons for other people, it doesn't have nothing to do with you, but you just happen to be there. It's like being stuck in traffic. You're on the expressway, you got to go pee really fucking bad, right? Okay. And you're female and you can't just pop in a bottle, okay? You're like, and you're stuck in traffic. Now, you're stuck in traffic. Your car is in a placeholder in space-time. Maybe your car needed to be there because 5 cars away from you, you're helping their contract so they don't get killed. If they were to be in front of you or behind you, and let's just say they get off the highway and there was no traffic jam, but your car was not there, the percentage goes up that when they go through, they might die. And you're there just as a placeholder for someone else's contract you're not even a part of, but you're placeholding a situational for divine orchestration to happen. I don't, and I could see that happening where other people are just the background people. We call them NPCs. I don't believe in the NPC thing anymore. They're lower vibrational souls. That's it. We're all placeholders for certain things. And sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with us, but God chose us to be in a circumstance that is frustrating to us, but it's saving someone else's life. We don't even know about it. We're just inconvenienced and we're like, fuck. But because our car was there at the right time, we helped someone else's contract or divine orchestration from occurring. Yeah, Leah's story is insane. And that's it's heavy. It's heavy. There was a tornado in France. I know, I saw Max Velocity posting it. I think Ryan Hall did too. But we're in the eclipse season, and eclipse season is heavy, and happy Virgo season. I'm in my rising sign now. I need black do 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 do. I need black do 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 do. I do have my paintbrushes. I didn't really want to paint because I have my beautiful Light the Path Forward shirt on. I did wear my Freya shirt to work. I see brown do 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 do. I see brown. Oh, there's my black. I found it. I found it. Everything on this planet has a purpose. And as much as Dolores Cannon and some people view some of these souls as backdrop people, that doesn't mean they don't have a soul. I think everything has a percentage mathematically of having essence in it. I'm a blade of grass in Africa, and a big elephant is taking a poopy on me. Billions of zeros, 1%. How could I be cognizant of that unless I went into meditation and saw it? I'm not. But you're all things. So then you would be claiming you're an NPC too. Like when I tell people they're divine and they look at me and like they project everything outside of themselves, like, oh, Jesus is like, oh, no, it's in you. In you. God is omnipotent, omnipresent. That means, why are you separating yourself from it? That's separation. We are in separation limitation. This is the realm of 3D. That's the law of the nature down here. Separation and limitation. When you start discovering thyself and understanding thyself, then you understand on a higher level right before you're going on to 4D. You're like, oh, wait a second. I'm more than this body. That's next level. That's 4D. You're more than this. You're a soul. You have a higher self. You have an oversoul. You are all your guides, angels. You have aspects of yourself and all those things, and they're coming to kind of help you navigate this shit show. Virgos are interesting traits. Practical, logical, perfectionism, orderly. Let's just get an overall. Practicality, a sharp intellect, and deep desire to help others. That's just like I'm just reading off of Google. Analytical, hardworking, reliable, kind, and service orientated. So there's a couple of signs that I mean I have just about a lot all of them, but not in major placements. Virgo rising, this will show you guys that I'm kind and service orientated. I have an analytical side to me. I'm not just all abstract. Like I try to balance my rationality, my practicality with my abstract. Like it's the as above, so below. I have to balance that out. That's why I think I have a Virgo rising because it has to bring me down to this reality. Yeah. I mean, that could be any sign, Mars. I mean, all signs have their positives and negatives to, and it's just a stereotype. It's just a trait. Like I use astrology as a tool to understand myself, but I don't live by it. Meaning, when people like, oh, we're in the 13th calendar, I'm not a Pisces by any stretch of the imagination. You couldn't even tell me I am. I'm not a Pisces. Sorry. No way, Jose. Not because Pisces aren't beautiful people, and I'm just not that emotional. I'm a fireball of fucking hell, flame, and fire. I have air and earth all over my damn chart. It's air, fire. air, fire, and a little bit of earth here and there. Fuck's sakes. Virgo is an earth sign. So I have the fire of Aries as a cardinal sign, and I have a Virgo rising that brings me to the ground and grounds me. And I have a Gemini moon. Yeah. I use these things as tools. They help you understand yourself. But it did, like I said, I'm not in the reality or perceive the reality of the 13 signs. I'm not. Not because I don't believe it exists, just because that's not how I perceive my reality. I'm not saying anything is wrong with the 13. You know, like I said, everybody perceives reality differently, and we all have to come. Unity is the understanding that we're all one. But like I said, that God disassociated itself, and through our individuality, we have a personality unique to our own, right? There might be similarities between a lot of people, but uniquely you're one, individuated, and a disassociated aspect of source's personality is within you. You're going to perceive, feel, and experience your reality your unique way, no one else's. You're going to see the world if you can see the world from your two eyes and perceive and feel from your senses. Each and every one of us has different types of nervous systems. I have a neurodivergent system. My nervous system is overactive. I run higher electricity in my body. My electrical currents is high. Many of you might not have that. Some of us are empaths. There's different types of empaths. Some of us has clairs. We all have different abilities. We sense, perceive, and take in our world uniquely to us. And to deny that from anybody else is just ignorance. You know, it's a matter of perception, and it's a matter of how you're experiencing it. I lived 9/11, and the person next to me could have perceived something that I did not. But we were still in the same place at the same time watching something happen, but they saw or felt or experienced something not that I did not. Same experience. Bernardo talks about this in his book as well. I can't wait to diffuse that. In what happened really happened in 2012 with Linda Good McGillis, she's going to describe to you the evil thing. It's a this or that. Are they really negative aliens? Like, this child is drawing aliens. I said to the teacher, she's drawing aliens. This is grays. Does that make the child bad? No. No. That's what she's saying. That's what she's experiencing. This girl's getting downloads, and she would not stop drawing until she was finished. This girl goes through paper like crazy. All of her drawings are aliens, not human. She drew something with webbed fingers. Atlantean or Orion, one or the other. Doesn't matter. That doesn't make these things evil. You got to use everything as you see fit in your life, and your belief systems are yours. I'm not here to shape them. But like, even myself, the next level stuff I'm getting downloaded right now, it's changing a bit of my perception broader. And I'm allowing it. I think a lot of you that know me for the past 10 years have seen I was adamant about certain things, and then all of a sudden I started making changes because I'm seeing a bigger picture and the expansion happens, and now I'm seeing it next level. I am detaching my third dimensional feelings to things, to the matrix, and I'm seeing it on a different perspective and a different level. And I know many of you are doing the same thing. It's just really hard to articulate, or to, it's not even to convince, but to even express it and have an understanding about it. Because a lot of people are still stuck with their one notion of belief or faith or understanding, and they are not moving because their pride or I'm sticking to my stance, right? And it's not to say don't stick to what you believe in, but have an open mind. There's so much out there to discover and to learn and to expand upon. The Curtis books the other day, they even said they give the notion, because QHHT, the Dolores Cannon work, is basically kind of what the Curtises were alluding to. I didn't want to say it because I don't like to get her people are monsters when you mention her name. People get healed when they do QHHT sessions. Not everybody, but a lot of people do get healed because there's unresolved shit that you lived in another lifetime that is now affecting this body. The Curtises are kind of alluding to that fact and also saying, like, don't ignore the fact that if you have something wrong that you need to get surgery for, you should get surgery for it. I don't like to go to the doctors, but if I did get into an accident, I would want somebody to mend my hand and put it back together. That's what medicine really should be for. When we're going just for general, to keep an eye on what's going on, I don't like that because they just want to sell you meds. They want you as a customer. I get blood because I have no choice to keep my insurance. I have to get blood once a year because they don't want you to have this. Why? What is nicotine? We have nicotine receptors in our bodies for what reason? They help. Tobacco helps. I'm not saying it's healthy the way that I do it. It's a choice I made, but it makes me feel better. I can tell you right now, my I've been walking a whole bunch, but like to the park and, to the store and back. But now I'm on my feet all day, right? When I go to the store, I come home and I sit in a chair. I don't have the luxury when I'm at work. I had 16,000 steps the other day. My feet they're sore. I feel better. Yes. Elsa, right? Absolutely. I know when I started this channel, because I have a bunch of Dolores's books behind me, and the three waves of volunteers is always and will always be a helpful tool for people to understand what's happening now. I like that book. It's always on my what do you give somebody to read when they're first awakening? That's one of the books I will go to for that. Reconstructing reality will come a little bit later because you first has to understand like the nuts and bolts. Once they expand and get a little higher, Barbara Messiniak would be she's also on my list. Barbara Messiniak is amazing. And then Suzanne Lai. Listen, I'm not afraid to die till Valhalla. Whatever is going to take me out. I wrote this in for my life. I wrote in my story, in my contract, I gave myself an illness to overcome. right? That doesn't mean the disease goes away. It just means I overcome the limitations that I put there for myself to learn a deeper soul lesson. Deep. In other lives, I'll give you guys a little bit of, I will give you a little insight. In my other lives that I'm cognizant of, I've always given my worth away. I've always given my power away. I was always manipulated to do things that I was not comfortable doing. I was also always abandoned. And in this life, I had to choose a lot of things to overcome in order to graduate to the next level. Being born and being taken away from your birth mother, never had touched my mother, is the first experience of abandonment that's deep on every level known to man. When you don't bond with your mother, whether you hated your mother because she was abusive, I never even had the touch of my mother. I was taken away. I don't know if I was swaddled. I don't know if I was taken care of. I don't know if I was held. I don't know. I was in a foster care system for 2 months of my birth. I don't know what happened. I'm still trying to figure that one out too. But I never got touched by my mother. That was the first instinct. As soon as I was born, I was abandoned. The feeling, the notion, and the understanding of. Coming into this life and at a young age seeing aliens and demons and angels, and you don't know what to make out of it. So I had to kind of that down. And then I had some prophetic things happen as a child, and I was able to tell, like, wrote it in a book when my parents were going to die. I didn't understand why I did that until I got older and reflected back and said, well, they did die when I was young. That prophetic thing helped me make, not light, but kind of make it easier for me to go through death and understand it in a different context. I was always prepared for it, not understanding what that preparation was for. So there's a lot of, and this is why the why questions and the shadow work is so necessary, because these, when you can go and rip apart your life and ask the deep why questions, why would you put yourself through misery like that? With somebody I dated a long time ago, crushed me into a million pieces, devastated. That's when my angels appeared for the first time. As me being able to recognize my angels came to me. Other instances, I was not aware that they were in my purview. I dropped to my knees and hysterically cried, and I felt them wrap themselves around me. I asked for that assignment from that other guy. I asked for that. I asked to be shattered and broken because I needed to be I needed to be put back together stronger. I needed to see my self-worth and my value. I needed to stand up on my feet and know that I don't need to give my energy away. I have to reclaim it. I have to empower myself and walk that embodiment, not just allow everything outside of me to dictate my reality. That's why a lot of things are hard for many of us. It's self-recognizing your power. And through and we chose the mechanism of suffering, even though it's still a choice, pain and suffering, we still going to feel it. We're going to have feelings. We feel the most down here. Down here is this is the doctoral version of Earth School for many of us. I mean, where do your thoughts come from? They're more memory than you think. And they're also quantum field. Your memory, your remembrance is your higher self giving you what you already have done. You're remembering your other aspects. The quantum field, your thoughts are not yours. They're in the field. And like when I have an epiphany to make a painting, right? Oh, I like that. I like that picture, but I'm going to make it my own. And I'm going to do this to it. I'm going to do that to it. Right? That's not me. That's something else coming through me, giving me the idea. Well, what happens, Mars? I'm going to give you a little. In my understanding, I had an experience in a vivid dream. I'm aware that I am aware of my actual like human dreams compared to my vivid dreams, compared to me leaving my body and going and doing work upstairs. I've seen it all. I could differentiate all of that. I had a vivid dream. I had two beings. They were neutral. They were interdimensional. They weren't extraterrestrial. They were interdimensional. They took me through a labyrinth underground in Earth, like a cave, and gems and rocks and all kinds of awesome like things were sparkly all over the place. And we stopped at a point and I stood on this circular like metal, had runes on it and different things, alien language if you want to put it that way. And one minute I'm standing there, and the next minute they're meeting me in my giant form in what they told me was Asgard. And I was a portion of Freya. And when I asked the medium about that experience before he transcended, he's like, yeah, because that's what you lived at one lifetime somewhere. We're multidimensional. And all of us have different experiences. So some of you have the memories of Egypt. Some of us have memories of Asgard and the Norse. It depends on your social memory complexes. I also had some Egyptian lives, but the Norse is very strong within this vehicle. I'm tied to that structure because that's the ethnicity I chose this life to connect me more to the energy of. That helped me understand so much more. Now, other people use Egypt to understand themselves in depth. Some people use the Indian gods and goddesses, some Roman, some Greek. Everybody uses different modalities for the same thing. It's the remembrance. And some of us choose our bodies based off of that. And we do. And we're not supposed to remember everything. Our higher self is only going to let us remember cognizantly in this vehicle the things that are going to help our soul mission and our purpose for this life. Blessings, Fox Glove Fairy. How are you? I'm adding some birdies, but I something needs to go here. And we're gonna do it. So take into consideration what like the starseed paradigm. Some of us start off with, for me, it was the Palladians, and then next activation was the Arcturians. The next activation was Alpha Beta Centaurian. The next one was Sirius, then Procyon, and all them started coming into purview for me. After I let go of that I'm Palladian identity, yeah, I am in one lifetime, in one aspect of myself, I am not the totality of it. That's what another aspect of what we are coming here to remember, that we're more than this body. We're more than this experience. And when we can recognize that and reconcile with it and know how divine you are and take the responsibility like Yeshua did. He took responsibility. He knew, I am like my Father from heaven. Yeah, because you're an aspect of him. My Saturn is in Scorpio. Scorpio is it's an interesting sign. For me, Scorpio in totality represents rebirthing. The death of the old, the bringing in new. It's cyclical. And I like that about Scorpio. All of you had already, those of us on a higher expanded consciousness already lived all the 12 zodiacs. All of them. This life you chose certain dynamics. For me, I chose to be adopted because my mission, I needed certain genetic frequencies from my biological parents. My mother and father carries a certain genetic line that I needed to have expressed within my DNA. My adopted parents brought me to my mission in New York to guard the Stargate. Obviously, I didn't know that until way later in my life. Why Allison 211, AllyKat 211. 211 was the plot number to my house. I had no idea why I kept seeing 211 my whole life. Didn't understand it. It'd pop up on the watch. You know how angel numbers pop up and you're like, ooh, 1111. Okay, so 211 would always pop up for me everywhere. My friends drank Steel Reserve. 211 is Steel Reserve. Why? My best friend lived at 211, his address. And then when I sold my house, I had no idea my plot was 211. Not one iota of an idea why I kept seeing it. Yeah, because the plot number was 211. Synchronicity. Synchronicities. To this day, I still see 211. It's just a number, sure, but for me, it's way more than that. And I mean, all of us have different numbers and different things that we recognize throughout our lives that we repetitively see. It doesn't need to be an angel number necessarily that has a significance to your life. You chose your birthday. I had to choose the right circumstances to volunteer in this time. For the plot of land to be built, for my parents to move to that plot of land, for me to be born and be with those people so that my mission could be done. And then I moved here and I need to be the lighthouse here because of how dark it is. What I'm very fucking happy about is that people in Gary, Indiana, you know, a lot of people will say, well, that's really like, okay, so they don't have power. And look at Flint, Michigan and stuff. They're claiming their power back, finally, in a productive way. Sure, there's a lot of racism within that, and I don't like that crap. Not about it. But finally, people are starting to wake up to their power and how they hold it. They're starting to have their voices come back in a righteous way, in a positive way. And yeah, there's always going to be some of them that are just negative Nancy's. But that's nor here or there. Yes, Mars. I like that. Upstairs is literally, I've been getting highly, heavily channeled, guys. So I'm going to be all over the place. Sometimes I'm not even cognizant of what they're conveying through me. All the circumstances many of us have gone through is helping others seek their personal strength. If I did not go about my life and inspire people, I know today a bunch of the teachers and people are like, I know you're still walking and I know you don't mind and you're being stubborn, we'll give you a ride. I'm like, guys, I need to walk. Like I will let you know if you can give me a ride. And thank you for the offer. Very humbled and I appreciate it. I need that time to walk. It helps clear my head. In saying that. But that's good, Mars, because what you're my demons play well with my angels because Source says so. Which version of me are you getting? I am dual polarity. Both work on my behalf. Oh, El Sunray, she's with you. I mean, if we look at the perspectives of things, I absolutely believe in Earth and Shambhala. I do exist. They exist in different experiences in different planes. Highly believe that. I think Linda talks about Shambhala for reals. I mean, even Patty Broussard talked about a lot of these things. It's multidimensional, meaning there's different layers of experience and perception, and some of us have recognition of those things because we're remembering. What we think is an intuitive hit is just a memory. Your abilities are your memory of what you are. Most of us are healers. Most of us are we're shamans or seers or healers and huntresses and goddesses and gods and demigods and all those things. We have them all within us. It's just a matter of your pie chart. And I know there's not enough I could say about my pie chart, but hang on. Let me find it. I gotta take all this down. Where's there? No, that's a wheel of fun. Oh my God, I have so many things popped up on my desktop. I found it. Hang on, folks. AllyKat is almost here. All right. Better. All right, for those that don't know Allison's pie chart, fractals of conscious energy that makes your soul up, not the body, your soul. For me, this is Allison's interpretation, my perspective. Archangel Collective, boom. That's a big chunk. Ascended Masters, big chunk. Oversoul. Starseed factions, various systems. Spirit guides. The one infinite, look at the little slither. One infinite creator. Soul tribe. The artists that run through me. The philosophers that run through me. Elementals. Other selves, multidimensional selves, social memory complex like Ra and Quo, the Council of Nine. This is just a generalization. All of you have a pie chart. All of you have different percentages of what makes your soul in this body run. Personality wise, spirit guide wise, angels. Let's say you're not an artist and you are an engineer. You got engineers up there, you got inventors up there helping you tinker and do the math in your head. I'm not a mathy person. I suck at math. Instead of philosopher, a psychologist. Instead of an artist's broad term, like I'm a fine artist painting, drawing, sculpture, but maybe you're an artist, a musician, or a cook. Right? We draw our inspiration to things from memory. Why do you like what you like? Why do you have the gifts that you do? We're all talented in our own different ways, right? I just happen to be really good at art. But again, that's just in certain modalities. Like if you ask me to do a portrait of someone's face in oil painting, I probably will butcher the shit out of that. I'm not good like that. Watercoloring. I have an idea about it. I practiced it. I'm not a good watercolorist. I'm not making those flowers look dynamic like everybody else, right? But if you ask me to take some spray foam and some spray paint with epoxy and some flowers, you're going to get that. Acrylics. I'm okay with it. I like the abstract stuff. I like abstract. I like sculpture. I like yarn. Right. Each of us has something really unique about us. Whether you're a storyteller, you're a poet, you are an environmentalist, you're a divinator, whatever you are, whatever you make your label as, it's what makes you happy. It's your passion. Doing art, I do it for myself. I don't do it for anybody. I don't commercialize my stuff. I mean, this you could say is the closest to me making my designs into something. I mean, I'm also thinking about later on, in this channel's history, and I'm just seeing where it sticks. I like making these, but I also might take some of my paintings and make them into shirts. That's the most commercialization that I could do, besides making prints of stuff. Um, but I'm not putting my stuff out there for Target or for the hotels, right? And it's okay if you do. I'm not saying you're a bad artist if you do. That's just not my cup of tea. My highest excitement is talking this way, helping people expand, or at least open up the conversation. That's very important. If we're not talking about high level stuff and having a debate about it, or at least postulating and putting things out there abstractly for some, how would we evolve? We would stay stagnant. I would be very fucking boring, mind you. I would be boring. And it's why I'd like to incorporate doing art. And I'm very proud of Miss Sid. She did rock painting. I'm proud of her. They came out really good. Arnie doing his music videos, and even Souls doing uh, I was like jamming out to her the live the other day. I was like, "What?" It's very important that as a community we support each other, because the more support, the more we find each other, right? And we don't have to agree on everything. And there's a misconception that you have to agree with everything that people say. You don't. Not everything I say people agree with, and I don't need you to agree with it. I want you to think about it. As I take in your words and what your comments are, and I actually do take them in and I postulate them even after the live's over, and I watch it again and I'm reading the comments. Like, I'll sit and actually, okay, maybe I need to expand on that more, or maybe I need to look into that concept more. Right? I don't like to shut myself out. And you guys should be in the same stance. Don't shut yourself out to new things because all you know is that one thing. I'm trying to make them birds. Birdies. I'll show you guys in a minute. I'm trying not to get my shirt messed up. I don't have my smock on. And acrylic paint don't come out of your clothes. I think I'm liking this a lot better now. See, the birds help the sky. I'm gonna let that dry. I know, not much. Exactly, Mars. There's other people out there that have been starting to speak about like your highest excitement. You have to ask yourself on a deeper level than that. What comes natural to you? There was a person talking about how to find out what's in your soul contract. And I just to entertain it, I put it on. Nothing that I already have the knowledge of, but what I think she was missing is that we all have an innate talent, just like we have innate abilities. And some of them are dormant because when sometimes people are not ready for what responsibility comes with being a medium or being a channel or being whatever healer. There are people out there that take that look at that dynamic and said, I cannot do that. Uh-uh. And there are other people that will dip their toe in and allow it to unfold naturally for them. But what is innate within you? What is your gifts? A lot of people don't even think to explore those things. That's why I like doing different types of artwork when I'm doing the craft and sips. I like doing painting, but I also like drawing. And we saw a lot of the things that I do during a craft and sip because I want to motivate you to tap into things you might maybe have an innate ability with that you're not knowing of because you didn't give yourself the opportunity to explore it. Right? If you really like painting and you find it joyful and it makes you happy and you don't need to be I got a degree for it. You don't have to be a degreed artist. There's people that never went to school that are amazing. But how do you know unless you give yourself the attempts to try? It is relative. And Mars, that's exactly what I have to add to episode 3. It's relational quantum mechanics. It's interesting. It's like what is in your experience and the relation to it. Because everything what I'm trying to get with metaphysics, quantum mechanics, and spirituality, obviously these concepts are on a higher dimensional scale of thinking. But there is relational quantum mechanics that deals with your everyday, and that's something that it needs to be added on because a lot of these experiments, the double slit, the black theory universe, and all these things have great potential, and then they have their downfalls. But what lacks in a lot of those is the relation in physicality. So I want to add that in because I think it's super important that we understand the relational aspects of things in the third dimensional sense. But using quantum mechanics, and it's really good. Thank you, Scott. And I mean, if anybody needs any proof about UFOs, please go to the bottom of my YouTube channel and press subscribe to Scott's channel because he's gotten I've been yelling at them through his little comments. Hey, free energy over here. Get it over here. Free energy. Let's go. Allie needs her internets. You know, another postulate Allison has. You know, obviously relational quantumly, uh all of us in Northwest Indiana had this experience. But I also feel that Allison has been silenced for 10 days, um, for the positive and for the negative. The negative being they don't want me to tell you what I'm being channeled. Because I honestly, if you saw on Telegram, I had myself first and Freya came out second. When I actually did upload Freya's stuff and it came out second. Really fucking bizarre. My shorts are to enlighten and help people put a smile on their faces. Freya is definitely a cute little personality, a bowl of chunk. She is on a diet. I've been playing with her a lot more. I mean, not that I haven't been playing with her. She has playtime, but I've been really like throwing things across the house for her to run a lot and get that energy out. And I mean, she's always at the window watching for her friends. And by the way, I think her friends are coming when I am not home. I leave my house about 7 in the morning and I put the stuff out between 6:30. As I'm getting myself ready to go, I put the food out for Little Thor and for the squirrels and the chipmunks and all the other guys that come and get it. And then by the time I get home, it's like, where are they? I don't want to slay dragon. I still have a sleepy dragon right here. I hope that that dragon gets out of his slumber very soon. I'm praying for that. Um, I think Excalibur pulling that dynamic is pulling the energy from Gaia out and holding that energy to, because I believe Excalibur is absolutely real. And I also feel that obviously in a third dimensional perspective, there is good and bad dragons, like there is good and bad extraterrestrials. Everything has a dualistic duality, polarity in our experience. We wrote the experience for that. At a higher density level, everything is light and different variables of light, different rays of light. And what we once considered evil or negative is actually positive in the higher realms. And I had to come to that agreement with my own self because of what channels through me. I've had his highness Hallel channel through me in my sleep. It was recorded. I wish I had it. But I've had him come through me. And I didn't fear it, but I also didn't understand it until it was explained that what we wrote his story about the adversary himself is not what you think. Even the aliens that my mom, when she channeled through me on this channel, My mom was even saying, like, what you think these things are is not, it's a human projection. It's just the way your brains comprehend these things. It's not exactly what you think. So my mother would never lie to me, and she knows what I am now that she's transcended. My mom's a very powerful being up there, and I'm still trying to find, by the way, when I moved everything out of my living room and kitchen, I have to remember where my Mayan star galaxy, what is it called? Your galactic blueprint. It's like based off the Mayan stuff, and it's fucking fascinating. And I'm a red radiant Skywalker. I'm the prophet. I bring heaven and to earth. Alexander Quinn, I think, was also speaking about that concept. Linda Good McGillis was also talking about that concept. We're not going anywhere. We're bringing it here. We're bringing it here. We're dragging that bitch down here. And it's through our nervous systems and it's through our understanding. It's through we want better and we have to actually create the change to make better happen. Now, how do we co-create that with everybody? More people are waking up. More of us are being the model, right? We have to be a model. We can't just sit here and be like, yeah, I'm gonna do one thing and then I do another, right? The hypocrisy of life, the ironic things in life. You have to walk your righteous path. You have to walk your authenticity and you have to be you in your authentic self. Your higher self is merging with you. That is your authentic self. That's your real self. That's starting to emerge coming out of your personality, out of your, a lot of the people around me um a lot of the people around me that are not on higher consciousness thinking or they don't think about anything, they're in their 3D lives, have even said to me when I bring things up at work that, yeah, their reactions to stuff that used to really irritate the living daylights out of them and that they would get really consumed with anger, hate, fear, they're not feeling those things anymore. So through us, it's naturally happening. These natural things are occurring in everyday people that are just not in awareness of it. They just overnight or over a period of time started not being so involved in their feelings of negativity or being obsessive or harboring things that once really really destroyed them, made them sick because they're stressed, and now those things don't really bother them anymore. My car situation doesn't really bother me. If I get a car, great. If I don't, great. I'll make do with what I have. And same with the storm. I was fine. People were like, "Oh, come stay at my house and come here." And no, I'm okay. Literally, I am. I just want bread. I want a sandwich. I'm going to be able to eat a little. That's all. Hi, Sean. I mean, sure. It's a good example, Mr. Eminem. But you are yourself. What's leaving is the old version of you that when I read spiritual cachet, it was really telling you that that old version of you, that story that you linger on, that you hold, right? Like a lot of the things that make us up and make our missions up are a part of our past, but they're a part of our future as well. That's why we carry these things with us. But like my disease, my illness, this three-dimensional like fuckery, the catalyst that needed to happen to empower myself, that does not need to be in every chapter of my book. That does not need to be the emphasis in my story. It's no longer there. Yes, I have something in this body that is wreaking havoc on in thyroid, hormones, pre-pause, all of that nonsense. But at the crux of it, I don't make it my story. I'm not victimhood to it. And that's where we need to grab our authenticity, our authority, and our empowerment to say, well, I can overcome this. And that's why a lot of people that go on the alternative healing methods actually go out and see what exactly will make me better and try things. And that's how we get all these beautiful recipes for detoxing for this and detoxing for that and healing this. And yeah, it takes time and patience. I'm doing a lymphatic drain. It's working. Yeah, Mars, absolutely. We and what Linda brought up was a very interesting dynamic in the CERN video. She talked about two types of Akashic records. There's not one. And I knew that. There's two. That's why I question people that read Akashics, not because I don't believe in the things that they say. It's just, I'm multidimensional. And what happens if tomorrow I choose the highest version of myself that can live in the third dimensional system or the matrix? Because we're still in 3D and we still have to play out our roles here, but we're higher consciousness. So we have to balance that out. And that's the hard part for a lot of us to figure it out. This is the first time this has ever happened in our dichotomy, in this paradigm. We never did this experiment before. And it's not because we're ascending and we're all going to disappear or that the split's going to happen. What happens is your frequency evolves. You start losing a ton of people out of your life and you gain the higher ended people that are in your frequency and on your wavelength. Remember, a wavelength is like this big thing here and it goes up and down and you're not flatlined. We're playing a ping pong match between densities and dimensions in nanoseconds, altoseconds. My body right now, you perceive me as a solid form, but my body in my cells in the whole 9 yards are vibrating, oscillating. All of you are. You're oscillating. You're moving. You're vibrating. You just can't physically see it. Your voice carries out frequency, pitch, and tone unique to you. Yes, truth. But aren't we all waves of frequency put into a material body? But what about our souls? As I'm holding. Guys, if you have mosquito bites the way I have mosquito bites in my big muscles, Allison's growing her muscles again. I'm getting there. I used to be even bigger. I know that's not a sexy thing for women to have, by the way, but you know, when you're axing trees, you need some buff. It's a good exercise, by the way. You put the copper on it. It helps. It really actually really does. I mean, I the other day, 2 nights ago, Monday, no, Sunday, I was welted out. Welted. Like it looked like someone it got big. I thought I got bit by spiders. I have spiders in the house. I let them live here. They're welcomed in my house. Go eat the other bugs. Leave me in the Freya alone. But I have one like right here. Just an FYI. Mars, you need to read Bernardo. I'm still picking and plucking things out of Federico Vigine's book to do a book review because it's dense. It's dense. Very dense. No. That's yes. What Mars just said. Vessel, it's the extent of our reach. It's not a container that boxes us in. It doesn't. It's just this is just an experience. What do you mean, why can't I eat? I ate a whole box of macaroni and cheese. Actually, I made the cheese. Um, I got the macaroni. I was not even hungry, but I made myself eat. I had a peanut butter Nutella sandwich at work. Trying to eat more protein in different forms. But I can't eat peanut butter until I know my kids don't have allergies to peanut butter. Can't really bring it into the building. I love that show. Yes. I love Alex Mack, Alexandria Mack. And she used to turn to liquid silver, colloidal silver looking. Uh-huh. Yes. I love that show. I don't know why Nickelodeon took that off. Guys, if you are like an 80s baby like I am, or you grew up watching Nickelodeon, they had some very good shows on there. I mean, I did one of my lives, we were talking about the 70s and the 80s sitcoms um where there was the robot Vicky, and then more Nanu Nanu Elf. I didn't like that show. Yeah. I love Pete and Pete. Those shows were so amazing. I miss like Nick at Night. If they would just like start doing like the old 80s and 90s kid shows, I'd be on it like a hot cake. I would actually start watching television again. Those shows were monumental. Um, I like Daria, MTV stuff, but still all the same company. Hi, Logan. Here's Allison's tarot and oracle card. Look. And I'm going to tell you what, Arnie's cards are not even on this card. They're under my desk. I don't have room for them. I don't have room for Arnie's decks on this thing. I have to get another cart because I still have decks that I can't fit on this thing. Hang on. I got to go to my photos. I am going to... So tomorrow, if Allison has internet, okay, I'm going to do an Oracle card live read. And I usually post it in my community tab to vote on the decks. Because life has been a fucking ball of amazement the last few days. Um, you know. Work. I had to do trainings, online trainings, and then they kept adding stuff. So there's a lot of things that I haven't been able to get done, and I'm trying to catch up, guys. I know a lot of you are very patient and very understanding, but just for anybody out there, Ivy, I'm good. Tomorrow I'm picking from this new deck. So someone got me this beautiful deck. I'm gonna use it tomorrow. I can't replicate the amazing Divine Sunflower Tarot's Positive Pickle. I can't do it because her and Ethereal, go please will watch that live they had. It was hilarious and adorable and cute and informative. But I have Positive Pickle. Someone bought me Positive Pickle and my little what the fuck. It's Key Cats. With the middle finger. It's very appropriate for here. So I'm gonna pull from those as well. All right, what's the other deck? I had, oh, yes. Where art thou? Urban Crow Oracle we're gonna read from. Sorry, I like put everything in a sensical order, and no, we didn't get the sensical order. Beyond Lemuria. And because we have a solar eclipse incoming, the Kyle Gray Gateway of Light activation. So these four are going to be read. I'm going to pull some from Arnie's decks as well. But those are the four that we're going to go for. I got no room anywhere. Damn. Just throw them here for now. Mother effer trucker. Boom. Mars, do you have my, can email me? Because when I do that, I have to sit in, I have to focus on you. It's kind of hard to do, especially with the energies right now. Email me because I'll try. Let me just be clear. Sometimes when I channel up there and I ask the questions that you ask, sometimes I don't answer because you're not supposed to know. Not because I'm not doing my job. There are They're very picky. My team is picky. They won't let me know my own shit. I've been asking upstairs to give me clarity. I'm not asking them to answer my questions in terms of when is the relationship going to happen? Like everything in my astrology is saying like a new person's coming into my life. Someone's going to game change my life. The opportunities are coming and then they never come. But I'm putting that out there in my field without expectations. I'm just living my everyday, but I'm asking upstairs, like, when? Like, please, I need to know some things. If and they're like, we can't tell you. You told us not to tell you. Especially the financial stuff. I mean, I'm okay. A lot of you did help me out, and I really appreciate it because I was able to stock some of my refrigerator back up and my freezer. A lot of people helped with that and helped me with the ladder expense, the chimney cover expense, and the solar generator. Some people contributed to that. Um, Obviously, yeah, no, I definitely understand you, Mars. Yeah. Yeah, I get that sometimes too, Mars, and it is really frustrating. It is frustrating. I get frustrated with upstairs. I scream at them. I scream upstairs all the time at my own self. I yell at myself. I'm like, you want me to be down here having experience, and I reconciled with that aspect of my life, right? But like, when will it get any easier? Like every I have like a year that things are like okay, I can make it, and then I have some fucked up catastrophe happen every few years that wipes me clean and it takes me out. I'm like, I'm done with the survival shit. Like, and I'm working. It's not like I'm not putting effort into my life. Like if I was sitting on the couch having someone take care of my bills and my needs, but I'm sitting here literally creating, putting myself out there, going to a 9 to 5, not really 9 to 5, but I'm working and I'm every day. Well, thank you, Ivy. And thank you to anybody who sent me jewels and glitterly fun. I appreciate you. But I mean, I'm putting myself out there. Like I made stickers. I have a merch shop. I have t-shirts. I now have a Freya mug. This is going to be raffled off, guys, on Friday Night Live. My dad's 21-year Transcension anniversary. I am This is going to be third place. It's not just one person winning. There's three people that win. And Allison got the mugs in some, not all. But I got the first wave of mugs that came in. So the t-shirt company did say that things are in transit because of the blackout. At least on my end, I know people did order stuff. I don't know. One person got theirs. And I don't control that, but at least here we did have a blackout and my stuff is coming in late. I don't, because of what is still going on over here, I don't think so. The pumpkin spice season did not happen just yet. More people up here in Northwest Indiana are concerned about getting their shit stable. And we have another storm system coming in tomorrow that might be tornadic and damaging. So we're gonna play tomorrow by my social media guys for our Oracle card live. And if you're interested in, I will read. You pick the deck, and I will give you one card, and then I have supplemental cards. Like from Arnie's deck, I'll give you an angel card number, and I'm gonna choose another one of his decks to give you a message. And then we'll do a positive pickle and a what the fuck cat because we need the what the guys. Whoever sent me these, I love you. People send me shit and they don't tell me. Number 34. I will savor the fucking sweetness of life today. Savor. These are adorable. I like them. um Yeah, tomorrow, I don't know what time. Also, I'll be home from work because my kiddos come in tomorrow. Today, I got to leave at my normal time, but so the first week of school, just for everybody knowledge about Allison's time and place in life in this time-space continuum of shit line linearity, if I could speak. I obviously walk. Now, with the first week of school, we've been delayed because of the blackout. The traffic and moving through my school period to leave out of an exit is ridiculous. Yesterday wasn't as bad. We didn't have kids yesterday. Today was the first day, but even yesterday was nuts. I left and I got home around 4 yesterday. Today, I got home at like almost 4 o'clock, a little like 3:50. Because the traffic. And in my building, parents don't communicate with the school bupkis, and there's like lines of cars everywhere, and then there's the buses. Oh my gosh. So it takes me forever to get out of my building to walk home. And my walks, if I've been clocking it, is between 13 to 15 minutes, which I got it down to I got that down from 20. So I'm like picking my pace up. Some days I could get it in 10. It all depends on Frogger. But yeah, tomorrow we're gonna definitely try, as long as I have internet and the weather is like chilled out, I will be live. Friday, we're doing raffle. I'm raffling off this pyramid right here. There's opalite, there's moonstone, lapis lazuli. I think there's some sodalite mixed in with lapis lazuli. They're very similar. I have avitrine, green avitrine, and I have obsidian. And on the bottom, there's some silver pieces in there. Yep. And then we have some copper on top with also mixed metals. This is a smaller guy, but I have to be recognizing that I also have to walk to the post office. And if anybody out there, I have an order for Sid. She's getting catnip pierogies. I think the big meanie, but there was other people that said they wanted it. And when I go to the post office, I want to make one big trip. So please let me know if you want a cat. I only have 9, and I will eventually go back. Um, I clean them out. I clean them out. I mean, did I craft a little bit today? Yeah, but now I can epoxy when I have the moment. I can epoxy. And then eventually when I'm done epoxying this, I can actually paint off of it. And if I can get more of these, I can put some lettering and stuff in there. It's gonna be great. For real. Um, there's some other things I want to read to you guys before I depart for the night. As we move closer to the lunar eclipse in Pisces, take some time to become deeply aware of what is happening within you. Notice what your body is telling you, what your mind is processing, what your emotions are bringing to the surface, and what your spirit is asking you to see. Nothing needs to be pushed away or immediately understood. Simply observe. Ask yourself, what am I ready to let go of? What am I ready to change? What no longer belongs in the life I am creating? What do I want to carry forward? What am I finally ready to leave behind? This is a powerful time to look at every layer of your life. Your relationships, your home, your work, your habits, your beliefs. Talking about that earlier. Your emotional patterns, your spiritual path, and most importantly, your relationship with yourself. Oh my God, you have no idea how bad I am at wrapping things. I'm not joking you. No shit, Sherlock. I'm not joking you. Souls. So, okay. My old house in Staten Island, when my mom passed away, I did not get the inheritance right away, and nor did I ever really get that much. It got taxed. So I wasn't really left with much. And I really needed new kitchen appliances, and that came as president, so I did. I also needed a new kitchen cabinets, but there was a problem. It was too expensive for my liking. So what I did was get like wrap and put it on the countertops, and it was not the best. I wish I learned how to stripe and do airbrush. I would need to learn how to airbrush because I would love to do that, but I don't know if I'm good at it until I try. But that's an expensive setup. Oh, like a wrap. Okay, I gotcha. There are people that make decals for that. Back in the day, I did a design. I had somebody I knew, their husband was a worker, a port authority worker that happened to be saving people during 9/11. And they asked me to do a like a piece for the back of a Jeep cover. So I drew out an eagle holding American flag over the Twin Towers, and I couldn't find anybody to make that into a wrap to put on the back of I didn't know how to go about that process. It is an amazing craft. Yes. When I was in college, the school's airbrushing system sucked ass. And one of the guys that was in my sculpture studio did these like amazingly big foam pieces and needed everything spray painted. And you go to school to use their shit. You mean you have to buy your own paint and everything, but they had the welding studio, the stone carving studio, the ceramic studio. the airbrushing shit show. He had to go out and get it professionally done by someone else because it was bad. Yes. Hi, Patrick. What? No way. All right, hold on, guys. Patrick's here. I gotta get Patrick's number. Hang on. I'm coming. I'm back. Sorry about that. Patrick came. He got a hug in. Patrick gave me a special delivery, which is thankful because now I can heat up some goodness for tomorrow. Oh my gosh. Thank you, Mars. I just got that. So for anybody that did send me emails, I have to go through and see if I received them. And once again, I do apologize. I didn't have cell service. I mean, I had some cell service. I can't say I didn't have it, but there's a lot of emails, text messages, and stuff that I have not received. So it's not because Allison's ignoring you. Just know that the grid went down here. Why are you sorry, Patrick? Patrick has to get back to work, but he's gonna light the path forward, and he's very appreciated. But we have a lunar eclipse. Source message today is about balance. Letting the chaos around you be met by the tranquility within you. Make sure you move like everything is going to work out, just as it always has, and just as it always will. Your garden is blooming. Your seeds have blossomed. There is infinite abundance at your feet. Walk in gratitude. Have fun with your life as it was always intended. And thankfully, Patrick told me everything was okay in his area. These are bothering me. Sorry, guys. Mosquitoes are mutated. Mutated mosquitoes. Oh, I'll show you guys the other mugs. They're not the best pictures. I did not put them in my photo box for light. I just put them on a bench. But we have the Dark Night of the Souls. You'll never be the same. Like the path forward for self and for humanity. And it's a Freya the superhero kitty cat. And then we have a Freya bomb. It's a Freya. I was frayed out the other day. Me too. Me too. I know a few people that work with me what were not so lucky and still are not lucky. They don't live in Gary, but their shit is still off. And I just want to ask everybody to put bubbles are still around this region. I think it's very important that and it's not just here. There's other places that got hit very recently with catastrophic shit that they also all lost their grid power. And I would think that if we all were to think about why, it's revealing a lot that needs to be changed. Both depends what your soul needs. An eclipse and the energy that we all, we read all these like generalized things and we can apply it how it fits in our lives. And I know for me, even with the Schumann resonance, like my ascension symptoms are not going to be the same as yours. My channeling, my upgrades are going to be different from yours because it's what my body needs and your body needs something different. We're all in different stages of the evolution of the stair stepping, but we're all in a similar frequency to it, if that makes sense. The veil's already been thin, very thin. But it's also up to spirit yourself and what you're ready for it to unveil itself even further. Not everybody is ready for the bigger truths. Not everybody's ready to withstand what they think and expect when it's more monumentous. After 34 years of my life, Spirit finally gave me my biological family, but it wasn't just that's the 3D thing, right? I got to meet my birth family. That's not where the nuts and the bolts were. It was the realization that I could handle my actual truth and why I came here. And that didn't happen for me until I was 34 years old. I had the understanding and the spiritual maturity to understand objectively, subjectively as well, why I was on a Stargate, why I incarnated, why I was adopted, why I was abandoned, and what I needed to overcome up until this point. Do I know everything I need to overcome? Get the fuck out of here. No, I don't. No, I don't. They won't answer that one for me either. I still been asking for my soul name every now and again. They'll come up in my thinking and I'll ask them and they don't give it to me. It's not time. So I just resolved to that understanding it's not my time to know and I leave it alone. You know. I mean, as an energy being, think of it this way, Ivy. We're all energy. Our energy gets absorbed into wood, into objects. And little fractals of our energy, just because our physicality is not there anymore, doesn't mean the energy isn't reverberating and sticking. And that's not to say that he isn't coming down and visiting. But usually after, making sure everybody's chillaxed, they go and do their healing work normally, or they sit in a resting period. My uncle that took himself out, and a medium had to transcend him because he was stuck. Uh, he was stubborn. He did not see the moving up thing, and we finally convinced him to go. Like, his energy lingered until it finally dispersed. My father and my mother both went directly up. They didn't stay. And it took me 9 years to understand what my dad's signs were, because I was not recognizing fucking anything. Did not know that my dad was visiting me in spirit. Not one shred of an idea. As spiritual as I am, I didn't see any of it. My mom, she'll send signs. But once I recognized my dad, he sent me, and I said I had to tell him, please send me stuff that I can recognize, because what you're showing is not I'm not recognizing it. So anybody out there that wants to hear from their loved one or get a sign from them that they're around, for me, when I told them I need something for them to like obviously they're always around me, but if they need to nudge me some way, or you start seeing me well up, I feel my hands being held, because that's the last thing I did with them, was cry and hold hands. For other people, it's seeing the cardinals and the birdies in the backyard. Everybody's parents and transcended loved ones come in different forms of birds. They come in different forms of spirit. My parents leave me pennies and dimes when they're around. Have a good night, souls, and thank you for coming. And I'll definitely get your I'm gonna check where your email is, hon. For sure. And please go check out Soul's channel, because amazing work on there. I could say I have dance party sensation going on, and jamming, and there's a lot of like dark melodic stuff that I enjoy personally. I really like it. Souls has a really great channel, so go check Souls Synthesize Souls official out. I will leave you guys with this, because it is getting a little late on my end, and I have to shower. The Signal, August 25th. The version of you with the life you're building doesn't relate to money the way you do right now. Not the amount, the relationship. Maybe they don't flinch when a bill arrives. Maybe they don't apologize for a price. Maybe they simply decide instead of spiraling. Take a few minutes and write how that version relates to money differently than you currently do. You're not faking wealth. You're studying the identity that actually holds it. One honest sentence at a time. And that could be done with anything. The live in frequency focuses on it, because that's where a lot of us are in lack, or we have that mindset. Legitimately, though, it is a stressor. We all need to eat, pay our bills, and live the 3D existence. We don't like it. I don't really like it, but you got to play the game. And it's just really outmaneuvering how to play the game and how to get your response inside of you different to make things turn around. For sure. And I know for myself, you know, I made a shop, but I also had to buy my own stuff. This doesn't come free. You have to buy it. And I bought my own stuff because A, I want it. I made it for that, but also it's to put the messages out there. I have to be the model to do it, don't I? I have to sow what I have to sow what I preach. I can't just be, you know, talking a good game. Oh no, I lied. One more. I got to walk the talk. Lunar eclipse, the 2728. Destiny, fake karma, revelation, shocking news, a second chance, rebirth. It's time to level up. And a lot of us are feeling this last one. It's time to level up. A new beginning. The energy is shifting our perspective and pushing us out of our comfort zones. This is the time to try something new. Let go of control and allow the chaos to unfold naturally. Trust the universe. Observe your surroundings. Reflect on yourself and take necessary action where needed, while trusting the universe to safely carry you into the unknown. Everything will unfold exactly as it should for your highest good. Expect fated events, encounters, and meetings to take place around this time. Pay attention to what and who unexpectedly enters your path. And I know that's been building up with all of us somehow, some way. We're really doing the work right now to really separate that old self. A lot of us did the work to understand it. We went in deeper to do the whys. We did a lot of the psychology to get us to this point. Now, the last shedding of this is to really say, thank you. I love you. I'm releasing you. I forgive you. And now you can go over there. With love. And let your new self enter. You all have it within you. So I did a little crafting today. A little bit. But my most important was to get on before my internet crashes again. Tomorrow, if it's not too bad outside, the storms are not that terrible, I will post a time. I'm probably going to say about 5:30. We'll see if I can get it done earlier. But I'm going to do the Oracle card live. 4 decks, you pick one deck and I'll get you a card and we'll do that. Friday, we have a raffle happening. Guys, I'm excited. I will hopefully bring the shirt down tomorrow. I will post all the information in the community tab if you're not a member and want to participate in the raffle. It helps, but it's okay if you don't want it. I mean, spray a bomb. But I'm going to leave it here, guys. I hate it. I have to go to work in the morning and I have to go do my thing. But sending each and every one of you love, light, compassion, grace, shielding, and protective energy. Please go within, be the shoulders, be the lighthouse, sprinkle and seed your truths. Light your path forward. Wherever forward is for you, light your path forward. Please be safe, be seen wherever you are in the world. Please bubble those that could use some extra healing, love bubbles, healing bubbles. Please make sure you're thinking about how you can help decrease some of the nasty things going on, because you could do that with your will. And until tomorrow, guys, I will be live. Just check out the social media when I will go. And I hope to see you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching.